Can Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment deliver fast-paced Zelda action without the open-world freedom of Tears of the Kingdom? The first thing that hits you is how much smoother everything feels in Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. The demo runs at a clean 60 FPS on Switch 2, and that alone changes the whole vibe. If you remember the earlier Age of Calamity running at 30 FPS, this one feels like jumping from a flipbook to an action movie. The combat finally keeps up with your reflexes. Every dodge, every combo, every flashy finisher just flows. And for a game where you're constantly surrounded by waves of enemies, that extra smoothness really helps. The gameplay feels faster and tighter, and you're not fighting the frame rate anymore, just actual monsters. Visually, the demo looks solid but familiar. The world has the same energy as Tears of the Kingdom, especially in the dark and mysterious depths. Lighting and effects are sharp, but it doesn't look drastically different from what you've already seen before. Just don't expect an open-world adventure. This is still very much a Warriors game. Maps are big enough to keep things interesting, but not wide open. If you see a fence or wall, that's the game's polite way of saying, nope, that's not your business. The environment itself doesn't offer much interactivity. Don't expect grass to bend or trees to react like in Tears of the Kingdom. You'll mostly be cutting through enemies, breaking a few boxes, and moving on. It's not meant to be immersive world building, it's meant to keep your sword swinging and your combo meter glowing. Now, what actually makes this demo stand out is how it mixes up the usual Warriors gameplay. You get to play around with Zonai abilities, which add a fresh layer to combat. You can trigger these powers on the fly, summoning gadgets, launching energy bursts, or pulling off flashy special attacks. It keeps the action unpredictable and stops fights from turning into pure button spam. The character roster in the demo is also pretty fun. You get to control Princess Zelda, Rauru, and Mineru, and each one brings something different to the battlefield. Zelda's light-based attacks look amazing. Beams of energy, glowing sword swings, and that perfect mix of elegance and destruction. Mineru moves around using Zonai constructs, which looks cool but plays a bit slower. Rauru though, that's the powerhouse. He hits like a truck and looks like he knows it. His light blasts and heavy strikes make him feel unstoppable, the kind of character that makes you grin while mowing down enemies. Switching between characters mid-battle also adds some nice variety. You can assign heroes to different points on the map and coordinate attacks, which gives a light strategy feel to the chaos. It's still all-out action, but there's a bit more thinking involved than just button mashing your way through everything. The story setup in the demo doesn't reveal too much, but it gives enough to keep your curiosity alive. You're exploring the depths, hunting for sacred sites that can boost Zelda's powers and strengthen Rauru. There's talk about ancient ancestors and the mysterious past of the Zonai, hinting that Hyrule's history goes back even further than what you've seen in previous games. The deeper story threads are definitely aimed at fans who enjoy Zelda's mythology and timeline mysteries. You won't get massive plot twists in the demo, but the tone and world building suggests something bigger is brewing, especially with that mysterious construct character teased in earlier trailers. It's clear the full game wants to expand on the lore from Tears of the Kingdom, just through the fast-paced lens of a Warriors title. On the performance side, things look great. The Switch 2 handles the chaos surprisingly well. Even when you're surrounded by dozens of enemies, the frame rate holds strong. Visual effects during sync attacks and ultimate moves pop with color and energy, and you won't notice any major dips or stutters. Still, the environments could use a bit more life. They're visually decent, but sometimes feel like reused assets. The depths, the ruins, the caves, they all look fine, but none of them really wow you. Thankfully, the flashy combat makes up for it. So is it worth playing? If you're into Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, this feels like a proper follow-up. The gameplay foundation is the same, but the performance boost, new Zonai mechanics, and stronger character variety make it worth checking out. The action is addictive, the story setup is intriguing, and the combat is satisfying in that over-the-top clear the entire screen kind of way. But if you're expecting another open-world Zelda adventure or something that pushes storytelling forward like Tears of the Kingdom, this might not scratch that itch. It's built for short bursts of fun, not for deep exploration or emotional storytelling. So if you're looking for something to keep your combat skills sharp and your screen full of explosions, the demo is absolutely worth a go. It may not reinvent Hyrule, but it sure lets you wreck it in the best way possible.